Have you ever faced a decision that clashes with your core values? It's easy to say we have integrity until a real challenge hits. Let's explore scenarios where integrity is on the line, how tough calls shape character, and the unexpected outcome of staying true to yourself. Hey, let's talk about integrity, the moral compass that is easy to claim but way harder to prove. Today I'll share a story showing how people's values are tested under real-world pressure when no immediate punishment or reward is at stake. If you've ever faced a situation urging you to betray your conscience, keep watching. This might inspire you to guard your principles like your most treasured possessions. Integrity truly shines when we act ethically despite knowing there is no immediate punishment if we don't. Maybe it's returning a lost wallet with the cash intact or refusing to let a small lie slip through the cracks. Many times we rationalize, no one will know, so what's the harm? But living that way gradually erodes our self-respect. Integrity's essence is that personal code you keep, even when no one else is watching or praising you. It's something that you just do, no compromise on, under any circumstances. You think it's easy and simple, right? But picture this story. An urgent directive comes at work that goes 100% against your views of the world, morals, and values. The choices are very simple. First, you can comply. Second, you can refuse and depart. You're afraid you won't be able to change his mind, so you just leave. Or third, you refuse and try to fix it from within. This is a clear test of your integrity. Each of these paths will have different ramifications in your life and often might even push you to redefine your sense of values. I'll be assuming that you have a defined set of values and life principles that you would never want to sacrifice. One choice is easy short term, but what consequences will it have for your future? Other is tougher immediately, but preserve your moral core. In the thick of it, you might feel you have no choice, but in truth, that moment reveals who you are at the foundational level. At first, crossing that line can feel disgusting. You might not even be able to sleep a night or two, but you end up digesting it and you move on. As humans, we develop mechanisms to deal with uncomfortable situations like this, and usually you just grow a thicker skin. How? After some time, you start justifying that decision to yourself. You create reasons why you did what you did, shifting the responsibility onto someone else just to protect the way you feel about yourself, and you still believe that your integrity is strong. But then you are asked to do it again, and you follow through again. This time is a little bit easier. You justify it to yourself, maybe even start thinking that certain values you thought you had or admired in yourself are just idealisms that are not practical. This is not how the business works, you said. What happens next? And then you do it again and again and again. More of your values are starting to disappear. You adapt to a new moral baseline. This is a real danger. Your old self might have been outraged, but the new you shrugs it off. Over months or years, you transform into someone unrecognizable, adopting a cynical stance that says, this is just how the world works. And then one day you meet someone who's deeply admired, someone you deeply respect, and maybe even have a conversation with him. Then he tells you about his principles, and it feels like you are smashed in the face. Emotional knockout. You realize that these were the very same principles you once followed, but when put to the test, you failed. And he didn't. Things you believed were impractical made the biggest difference to him. He's genuine, strong, and follows his conscience. And he tells you, yes, it was difficult, he said. Many times I was close to leaving or being fired, but who would I be if I didn't fight against it? I was more afraid of looking in the mirror at the person I would become if I didn't stay true to myself. And that gave me the strength to persist and grow the respect of others. And when he says, what would I be if I didn't fight against it? You answer in your mind quietly, you would be me. Following your integrity is never easy. It is often the most difficult of the choices, but reflect on the above pattern and consider what really brings you more benefit. Another example is someone being told to fake a contract date or manipulate an audit. They risk losing their jobs, but chose honesty. This type short-term fallout, they either found a new position in a more ethical environment or ironically gained respect over time. The powerful lesson here is that integrity can cost you in the moment, but it often wins you in the bigger life picture, both in self-esteem and in forging an authentic reputation. Integrity isn't just tested in dramatic showdowns. It surfaces in daily micro-decisions, like hiding a coworker's contribution to grab credit or ignoring a small billing error in your favor. Every time time we pick honesty, fairness, or transparency, we strengthen our personal core. Over time, these micro decisions accumulate into a robust moral identity that can handle bigger ethical storms. So how do you turn those lessons into practical steps? First, identify non-negotiable values. Write your top 3 to 5 principles, something that defines your moral code. Keep them in a journal or on your desk. Reflect on past compromises. If you recall times you bent your ethics, note how it made you feel. How would you handle it more differently now? Let that reflection guide your future decisions. Plan for moral dilemmas. Visualize potential scenarios like being asked to do something unethical at work. Decide in advance how you will respond to it. Speak up, refuse, or if necessary, walk away. This mental prep helps you stand firm under real pressure. Build integrity allies. Seek out colleagues or mentors who share a strong ethical stance. Their support or example can be crucial when your principles are challenged. Integrity is tested in subtle or dramatic ways, often when we think no one is watching or punishing us. Each choice either solidifies or chips away at who we are. By understanding the slippery slope of repeated compromises and seeing how others stood firm, we can prepare ourselves to keep our values intact. Integrity might seem lofty, but it is shaped by everyday act, what we do when consequences aren't immediate. Reflect on your core principles, anticipate ethical hurdles, and never forget that being true to yourself is a genuine cornerstone of your character.